Hello everyone and welcome back. In today's guide we're going to be looking at the status effects caused by the weather in Ark. Now, note there are a few things that we'll be covering in this video that will be covered in another video, and those are like, fortitude, armor, insulation, and a little more in temperature and depth. I just want to go a little more in depth because in this video I just want to cover the status effects, how to get them and how to count on them. And also apologies for the late vid. Personal stuff's been going on for the past couple of weeks, so apologies on that. But with that all being said, let's get into the video. Now, before you actually understand the status effects and how to get them and how to count them, you need to know the rough degree at which you will get these status effects with zero insulation. So those stats are popping on the screen now. The reason I say it is rough or depending is because, it depends on, the various ways you've already got in place to counter it or the environment you're in. So within this degree, table, you will get this status effect. And like I said, it is rough degrees. Anyway, with that all being said, now let's move on to the first status effect, being cold. So you will get this status effect in various ways. Those being the current temperature of your location, swimming, the type of armor you're wearing, the shelter you're in, the amount of heat sources you have around you, so campfires, and also as well as how high your fortitude is. So what does it do? This status effect will make it where your food decreases faster, making you have to eat more. And now, how this works, it goes in a linear pattern. So the colder you get, the faster your food decreases, ergo, the more food you have to eat in order to stay alive. Now, the upgraded version of cold is called freezing. So this is the ice cube effect, and basically it has the same, ways of, location of how to get it. And it does the same thing as well, it decreases your food. But the added effect of freezing is it makes you lose your health as well. And of course, the colder you are, the worse the effects. Now, how on earth do you counter the cold/freezing effect? Well, there's a couple of ways to counter it. The first main way to prevent yourself from, dying and freezing to death is your fur armor. Yes, wearing wearing a full set of fur armor will give you 285 hyperthermal insulation, and that's basically protection from the cold. Other strategies include freer curry, which can give you 56 hyperthermal insulation for 50 minutes, as well as slow your food rate consumption by 25%. And then also it depends on the structures that you have around you or what you're in. So structures that can help: campfire, standing torches, ACs. Their values on the screen right now, as you would have already seen, showing you how much insulation I actually give. In terms of structures, moving on to them, so every house you build in Ark, whether it's thatch, wood, stone, metal, doesn't matter, they will all give you a hyperthermal protection of 112, unless you are in tech. Tech will give you 450 hyperthermal protection. Now also note with these structures, they're all been tested in default single player as well. That's something I forgot to mention. So it's on single player, these settings were tested, default. I also tested on my non-dedicated, host-dedicated world, default settings. So yeah, anyway, I just want to make sure that was clear. The final way to counter the cold is with your fortitude. The higher your fortitude, the more protection you get. So if you've got a fortitude of 10, then it's less likely you're going to get, the cold effect at, say, 13 degrees, So the higher, the better. And also, all the cool people spec into fortitude, guys. Who doesn't want to spend, over various amounts of points into fortitude? It's like the bomb. Alright, moving on to the next status effect, which is hot. Now, you will get this status effect various ways, same as the cold: current temperature of your location, swimming, type of armor you're wearing, the shelter you're in, the heat sources around you, so depending if you've got 20 campfires lit, and how high your fortitude is. So what does this effect do? It does opposite to the cold. It will slowly decrease your water, and of course, the hotter you get, the more water you're going to have to drink in order to stay alive, or to prevent dehydration, of course. Now, the upgraded effect of this is called burning. Now, you'll lose your health as well, really fast, but on top of that, you will also lose your water really fast. So make sure you can have the counter in place. Now, there are ways to counter hot and burning effects, and so that is Kalen soup, which gives you a hyperthermal insulation for 15 minutes. Then you've got iced water. In order to get this, you need a jar or a canteen, chuck it in a refrigerator or a trough, tech trough that is, sorry. for 60 seconds, and then boom, you got ice water. And what does ice water actually do? It increases your hyperthermal insulation by 84 and decreases your hypothermal insulation by the same amount. Now, this is really good, by the way, for getting rid of heat strokes and the burning effect, which is really good. So make sure you have ice water. Next one is Giliama, which will give you a full set 178 protection from the heat. And then at second place, Desert Clothes, which is 130. In terms of structures, the best one you want to do is an adobe hut. Now this is on Scorched or Rag. This thing is absolutely amazing because it gives you, ready for this, 392 hyperthermal insulation. That is right. 392, and all you need is a small little hut. I'm not kidding you. I literally built a small, like, one foundation, couple of walls, and a ceiling. Bam! That much protection. It is amazing. It is great. Definitely get an adobe house if you're being on Scorch or Rag. Otherwise, every other structure is an oven, and you're going to burn to death. And nobody wants to burn to death. And of course, tech will give you 393. So, not really point moving to tech, but yeah. Then, of course, your fortitude, as we discussed earlier, the higher the better. And that is effectively it, guys. So that is the status effects guide to temperatures on Ark Survival Evolved. I hope this guide has helped you understand, the temperatures, the status effects and all that. Make sure you check back next week because I'm going to have more videos on the status effects. And, in the coming weeks, there'll be more videos with more content, more tutorials on Ark. Because my goal right now is to completely finish Ark to the point where it's like, oh, I need a tutorial. Load up Ninja. Bam! You got every tutorial you'll need, and then you're set with Ark, In 2 minutes, you're like, ooh. Anyway, that all being said, thank you so much for watching, guys, and subscribing and liking. I appreciate it all. You help me a lot. But with that all being said, I'll see you next week, and I hope you have a fabulous, awesome day.